My name is Lieutenant Colonel C.T. Echalez of the late Indian Army. My father, the Reverend Theodore Augustus Echalez, was Vicar of Lullington in the county of Derbyshire and a rural dean. I was born at the vicarage on the 9th of July 1844. In my childhood days, I evinced a strong predilection for an outdoor rather than a sedentary life or the study of books. And at the age of about 10, my parents decided that a soldier's life was the one for me. I remember when the subject was broached, and I was assured that it didn't necessarily follow that I should be shot. Upon hearing this, I was quite satisfied to be a soldier. At about the age of 12, I was allowed a single-barreled gun, and at 14, when staying at Ketton Hall as the guest of Lady Wilmot Horton, I shot my first pheasant on the wing and my first hare running in a wood. At the age of 17, I passed out direct into the Indian service from the Kensington Grammar School. After some years, I was moved to Surat, which lies about halfway between Bombay and Ahmedabad. I was then sent out into the districts, with an establishment of about 21 surveyors. Our duties were to make village maps showing all the boundaries of these holdings, together with all details such as rivers, streams, trees, wells, roads, paths, etc. Whilst in this survey, I got my first tiger shooting. In September 1866, I became seriously ill with fever, contracted, I suppose, in the jungles where I had been big game shooting. I was laid up at Surat and very nearly pegged out. I was sent to convalesce in Bombay and was then transferred to the Pune survey. I used to have periodical attacks of fever every year. I was sent to England on sick leave at the beginning of 1871. I stayed at home 2 years, had a good time shooting and fishing, and returned to India 2 stone heavier. In the year 1878, when on leave from India as a captain, I was introduced by a clergyman friend to 2 gentlemen farmers, brothers, who had a sheep farm of about 1,000 acres at Mere, a country town about 5 miles distant from Gillingham in the county of Wiltshire. The younger of these 2, Ernest Baker, was a great sportsman and naturalist. Eventually, he became one of the truest and best friends I ever had, and after my retirement from the service in 1866, I used to shoot with him mostly every year until his death in 1892. He was a first-class shot and fisherman, and many a happy day have I had with him in the field. His death was an irreparable loss to me. Requiescat in pace. He had a fine collection of birds in his dining room, and seeing this I really think started the idea with me that I would try and do likewise. Many people have inquired as to my reasons for presenting to the town of Waterloo what I now consider to be a valuable collection of ornithological specimens. Well, I think it was mainly because I had more associations with the town than with any other in England. My mother and brother having resided in the place for a good many years, and a married sister at Blundell Sands, that since my retirement from the service in 1886, I had practically made it my headquarters, so to speak, when not away on some sporting expedition, and consequently that not only on the grounds of family ties, but on social connections as well, I came to the conclusion I could not make the offer to any town more deserving of my consideration. In making the offer, I stipulated for a well-built, properly lighted museum room and suitable fittings for the several cases, all of which conditions, I must frankly confess, the Urban District Council of Waterloo have carried out to my entire satisfaction. It only remains for me to add that my object in offering this collection as a free gift to a public institution was that all the labour and expense that had been expended on it might not be thrown away, but that the museum room might prove a valuable adjunct to the Carnegie Library and not only serve a useful purpose from an educational point of view, but also afford to all those who are fond of ornithology an opportunity of whiling away an hour or so very pleasantly.